think I'd like to say that I'm here with my wife, and it's been a really bonding and rewarding experience for both of us. And just that people who think that should they come alone or with somebody else, it doesn't really matter. It would be really great for you either way. There's a lot of people here alone. They're fantastically connected, open, some of the most beautiful people you could know, I think. And obviously when you are with someone together as well, I think it takes your relationship to a new level, in some sense, that you really get to know each other more. You get to see each other in a kind of a different spiritual dimension, if you will, and also kind of go through it all together, learn a lot, and it's really, really rewarding. So I think first thing for me was to realize that all nights are very different. Some nights it might really work wonders on you, be really engaging, show a lot. Other nights are more like preparatory, so something is brewing, you're not quite sure what, but you know that you're making progress. And another thing I really learned here is that the staff, the people that are there with you to help you unpack it all, to suggest different techniques, to guide the ceremony, the energies, the spirits, like that is crucial, that is key. So yeah, my second realization was that the people you do it, or the group you do it with, also all the people in our group that offer the energy, they also really make up a big part of this experience. And this also, it's very hard to describe specifically and very objectively, because everyone's experience is so personal. And in some ways it can only be experienced. But if I was to try to kind of explain it to a rational person, then I think it gets really deep into you, into your core beliefs, the things you've carried with you all your life, and you get to discover things that are blocking you, and you get to work on them, and you get to release them, and you basically become a bit reborn each time, and you become a better human being as a result. And the process, also I should mention, it takes a bit longer than just a week here. It can go up to 6 months, 9 months. Some things you realize only later, and this all leads to becoming a better human being. And you return to your normal life with great excitement, because you now get to do it all in a different perspective, on a kind of a higher self, as a higher self. What brought me to Blue Morpho is originally I started with, as people do in their youth, experimenting a bit with psychedelics, and then I found some answers in my mind which I was very pleasantly surprised by, which were transformative to a degree. And that period of my life also included trying ayahuasca one time in Canada, and this was something else, because it was like somebody else was there with you. It wasn't just you exploring your mind, it was like you were interacting with something or someone. And then fast forward about 5 years, I was on a plane to Peru, and I met a very significant person to me now on the plane, and she was on her way to Blue Morpho, I think 3rd year straight, and she shared a lot, and it made me really realize that I wanted to take this next step with ayahuasca, and that I should do it here. And I'm really glad I chose to follow her advice. The campground is really beautiful place to be at, definitely safe. And of course during the ceremonies also there are really good rules about how the space is contained, how you have everything you need in this ceremonial building. You have shamans to talk to, and actually I think probably the mental safety is the bigger aspect, and here I feel really trusting, because I feel like so there are main kind of 4 principal shamans who are guiding the ceremonies, 5 actually, Don Alberto as well, of course, and they're just world class in their work, as people. Like I've been, I guess floored is a good word, how every time you ask something you get this really perfect beautiful, well thought through answer, and that it opens something new up in you. So safety, yes, and I would say even more than safety. You feel empowered to kind of bloom and blossom because you know that your foundation is really good. I'm pretty pedantic about details, or I like things that are well organized. I like to think what people have to do behind the scenes to make it all work. And you can really see here that every detail, I guess it's because of 10-15 years of experience, is so thought through. Just the way the bungalows are, really convenient. I've stayed in the jungle before, it's usually not that great. Everything is simple yet comfortable, yet everything you need is right there. Kind of like in a good restaurant, things just happen without you really have to think about it. Things appear and disappear as you are either needing them or are done with them. The daily schedule is really excellent. There's a perfect amount of optional activities, kind of free time, and energetically too, it all makes sense. It's just perfect. There is time to interact, to get to know the group. The food, of course, is amazing, which was a big surprise to me. It's really awesome food. Every meal is great. I'm actually have to really keep back because ayahuasca doesn't like a lot of food. Yeah, and there is a beautiful jungle area around the around the buildings, and walking around here is a joy as well, and you can really connect with the trees and just enjoy this peace. There's also meditation houses. There's even electricity and somewhat available internet, which is, not what you always want, but sometimes you need it. But yeah, most of all, it's the people. Everybody is amazing, staff is kind, laundry is done, everything is clean. Loving it. Everybody here is on their own journey, and everybody here is really loving and kind. And we basically learn from each other as much, or maybe even more, than we learn ourselves. There is really, especially enjoy the group sharings or different sessions almost every day, where you really can dig deeper and you can see where everybody is at with their process. You can kind of learn about the many phases of ayahuasca and different spirits, and how it all the effects and all the things that people go through. And that's really it's very enriching process. And I think that if you are going to want to explore plant medicine, and specifically ayahuasca, they also offer other more deeper dieta-based weeks, tours, I guess you could say. Yes, if I would take this on for myself, I would certainly come here, because I simply cannot imagine a better place or a better way how you could get part of this amazing way to get to know yourself and the world. So